Hi friends, welcome back. In last section we have just briefly not about the introduction, the formation of the Indian landmass and the first point of the relief features. We said we have 6 relief features in India and the first one is Himalayas. So about the Himalaya last class we have discussed. So let us discuss now in this class the continuation of the topic. The second major relief division is the IndoGangetic Plain. The IndoGangetic Plain originated by the interaction of the Himalayan rivers, namely the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. These were the 3 rivers originating from Himalayas becomes the cause for the creation of the IndoGangetic Plain. So in the beginning, it says around 20 million years before, the northern plain was only a shallow basin which was filled by the alluvial soil by the rivers Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra, which is flowing from Himalayas. Okay. The IndoGangetic Plain broadly can be divided into 3 divisions: the western part, the central part and the eastern part. 3 divisions. What are those 3 divisions? The western part, the central part and the eastern part. Okay. So the western part is mostly formed by river Indus and its tributaries. Maybe we were very less heard about river Indus in India because this river flowing not completely through India. These rivers flowing only in India, these rivers flowing only to Punjab and Haryana, and afterwards majority of the plain belongs to Pakistan. The river Indus and its plain is flowing through Pakistan. And one of the features of river Indus, as it flows in India, it creates a doab feature. What do you mean by doab? Doab is the land between 2 rivers. Doab means the land between 2 rivers. So that is one of the speciality that the river Indus creates when it is flowing through India. And when we come to the central part, it is known as the Gangetic Plain or Ganga Plain. It extends from the river Ghats to Teesta. The Ganga Plain extends from the river Ghats to Teesta. And this part is mainly separated in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and partially in Haryana, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Through which state river Ganga is or Ganga flowing or the Gangetic Plain is belonging, that is the major part in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and partially or a small portion belongs in Haryana, Jharkhand and West Bengal. And here the river Ganga and Yamuna and their tributaries like Sone, Kosi and many more tributaries are flowing through. Okay, the third part of the IndoGangetic Plain is found in the eastern part. We said there are 3 main divisions for the IndoGangetic Plain: the western division, the central division and the eastern part. Okay, so the eastern part we found in the Brahmaputra Valley of Assam, and the responsible feature for the formation of the eastern plain is river Brahmaputra. And due to the flowing action of river Brahmaputra, the eastern plain the eastern part of the IndoGangetic Plain were formed. Okay, so the eastern part of the IndoGangetic Plain is a narrow plain belt, and which is width from 8 to 16 kilometers. And these plains are found parallel to the foothill of Shivaliks. The location of this eastern plain is the parallel to the foothill of the Shivaliks. So I think you may be remembering what is Shivaliks. Okay. Okay, in the flowing down of the Himalayan rivers, it carries out a lot of sediments and depositing the gravel and pebble sediments on this region. And this is known as the Babar. The Babar is the deposition of Himalayan river, the gravel and pebble deposition by the Himalayan rivers in the eastern part is known as the Babar. One of the speciality of the Babar is the soil in this region is porous in its nature. What do you mean by porous in its nature? That is, porous means the soil in this region have the capacity to keep the moisture or having the capacity to hold the water and moisture for a long time. And another feature is that it having an underground flow of small streams, and the underground small streams appear in the lower places or the places which were lower from the ground, and it appears, and there it forms a swampy and marshy region, which is known as the Terai region. What do you mean by Terai region? Terai region is the swampy and marshy region formed due to the underground flow. Okay, so what is Babar and what is Terai is the important thing in this part. Okay, so another speciality of this region is this region had thick forest and rich wildlife features. And during the time of India's partition, when the people were migrating, the forests from these regions were cut down and converted for agricultural land. Therefore, most of this forest in this region was destroyed and converted to agricultural field. And south of this Terai region, we can find fine alluvial plain region. And south of this region, we can also found a fine alluvial plain region. Next, the third major relief division. Okay, so the first is Himalayas, second is the Indo-Gangetic Plain, and the third is the Peninsular Plateau. The last section we have discussed already what is a peninsula. Why Indian plateau is known as the Peninsular Plateau. So the answer, you know that the three sides of a landmass covered by water and one side is connected with land. Such a landmass is known as the peninsula. Therefore, India is also a peninsula and it has covered the three sides of the landmass with sea. And the rock in this region is consisted of all crystalline, hard igneous and metamorphic. the rock features in this region can be said as the all crystalline, hard igneous and metamorphic rocks we can found in this plateau region. And also we can find a large amount of metallic and non-metallic mineral resources we can find in this plateau. What are those things? The rock feature is the all crystalline and hard igneous and metamorphic rock, and also we can find large amount of metallic and non-metallic mineral resources in this plateau. And also it have broad and shallow valleys with round hills. In some areas the valleys are broad, and in some areas the valleys are deep and narrow. Such valleys also can be found with rounded hills, not steep hills, but in a rounded hills also we can find in this region. And the topographic feature of this plateau. The topography is the land feature. The land is tilted towards the east. The land is tilted towards the east, and also we have two mountain ranges which act as a boundary in the eastern side and in the western side. That is, the Western Ghats from the west and the Eastern Ghats in the east act as the boundary, and the southernmost tip of this plateau is Kanyakumari. The southern end of the peninsular plateau is Kanyakumari. The peninsular plateau consists of two broad divisions. That means the peninsular plateau is divided into two divisions. So the first one is the Central Highland, or it is also known as the Malwa Plateau. The first one is Central Highland or Malwa Plateau, and the second one is the Deccan Plateau. Two divisions, the Central Highland or the Malwa Plateau and the Deccan Plateau. Okay, when you check the map of India, the physical map of India, you can see the south of the Gangetic Plain and the north of river Narmada, the Central Highland you can identify. The location of the Central Highland is south to the Gangetic Plain and north of river Narmada. We can find the Central Highland. Okay, the prominent plateaus we can find here is the Malwa Plateau on the western side, and towards the east there is the Chota Nagpur Plateau. And in comparison, the Gangetic Plain, the plateau region is, comparing to the Gangetic Plain, the plateau region is dry. Why the Gangetic Plain is not a dry land? So the answer, maybe you can assume the answer. Okay, so let's continue. The Gangetic Plain, compared to the Gangetic Plain, the plateau region is dry, and the speciality of the river in this region is, the rivers in this region is not perennial river. So what is a perennial river? Try to recollect. And the irrigation for the second crop depends upon the tube wells and tanks. Cultivating a second crop, they need to depend on the borewell and tank water for the growth of agriculture. And also identify the rivers that flow in the northern side of the Central Highland. So in a physical map, we have to identify what are the rivers which is flowing towards the north in the Central Highland. And also Chota Nagpur Plateau is having the highest mineral resources in this region. The Chota Nagpur Plateau having the highest mineral resources in this region. The second division of the Peninsula Plateau is the Deccan Plateau, and which is located south of river Narmada. Location of Deccan Plateau is south of Narmada river, and it is shaped in a triangular, and Satpura ranges forms this plateau's northern edge, and Mahadev, Kaimur and a portion of Michael ranges forms the eastern edges of this plateau, and Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, and also Nilgiri forms the west, east and southern boundaries. In the Deccan Plateau, we find two main mountain ranges that already we have mentioned as the boundary of the Deccan Plateau: the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay, let us look something about the Western Ghats. So Western Ghats is in the west side, and the mountain ranges running parallel to the western coastal line, and the structure of the mountain ranges of Western Ghats is continuous. There are very little passages through these mountain ranges, and the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Just before we have discussed that the land of Indian Plateau is tilted towards east. So it is because of the height of the Western Ghats. Say the Western Ghats is higher than the Eastern Ghats. Therefore, the topography is little bit tilted towards the east. Okay, so the Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats, and also the Western Ghats extend around 1600 kilometers. The Western Ghats extend around 1600 kilometers, and near Gudalur in Tamil Nadu, the Nilgiri, the mountain ranges of Nilgiri joins with the Western Ghats. In Gudalur, the Nilgiri mountain ranges joins with the Western Ghats, and here it goes to the highest of its height, and it gets the highest height around about 2000 meters. And in this hills, the famous hill station located, the famous hill station Udagamangalam, or popularly we known as the Ooty, one of the hill station of south, is located in this mountain ranges or in the Western Ghats, where it joined with the Nilgiri mountain ranges. Doddabetta, which is having around 2637 meters height, is the highest peak in this region. And in the Western Ghats, it also includes different other highest peaks like Anaimalai and Palani Hills in Tamil Nadu and Cardamom Hills of Kerala. So these were some of the mountain peaks which includes in the Western Ghats. Anaimudi of Annamalai Hills is the highest peak in the South India, which is having 2695 meters height. Now let's look about the Eastern Ghats. So we have already discussed about the Western Ghats, and now we must be very careful that it is one of the very important questions for our 10th class. The question is the difference between the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats. So Western Ghats we have already discussed. Now let us discuss about the Eastern Ghats. So the Eastern Ghats extended from the Mahanadi Valley in the north to the Nilgiris in the south. The extension of the Eastern Ghats is from the Mahanadi Valley in the north to the Nilgiris in the south. So one of the special features that we have to observe when we comparing to the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, the Eastern Ghats are not continuous as of the Western Ghats, because the rivers like Godavari or Krishna, which is origin from the Western Ghats flowing through the Deccan plateaus, and it cut the Eastern Ghats joined to the Bay of Bengal. Therefore, the Eastern Ghats are not continuous. So it is breaked between as a river Godavari and river Krishna cut across the plateau and join the Bay of Bengal. So the average height of the Eastern Ghats not exceeds 900 meters. The highest height of the Eastern Ghats is 900 meters. And the highest peak in Eastern Ghats is Arayakonda, found near Chindapalli, which is around 1680 meters or 1680 meters, that is in Andhra Pradesh. When we compare the height of these two mountains, the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, we can see there is a great difference in its height. The Western Ghats, the highest peak in the Western Ghats, that is the highest peak in the South India, it extends up to 2695 meters. The average elevation of the mountain ranges in the Western Ghats is 2000 meters, whereas the average height of the mountain ranges in the Eastern Ghats is less than 900 meters, or it is not exceeding 900 meters. So the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats is the Arayakonda, which is found at Chindanapalli in Andhra Pradesh, having 1680 meters height. And also some other highest hills are the Nallamalas, Velikondas, Palakondas and Sheshachalam's are some of the other highest hills in this region or in the Eastern Ghats. And one of the remarkable features of the Peninsula Plateau is the soil. In the Peninsula Plateaus consist of black soil formed due to the volcanic eruption. So the black soil is commonly found in the Peninsula Plateau region, and this is happened, or the black soil was formed due to the volcanic eruption. Okay friends, let us put an end here for our third part. In this part we were discussing about the second and third relief features. The second relief feature, that is the IndoGangetic Plain, we were discussing in the beginning of this part, and the three subdivisions of IndoGangetic Plain we were discussing, and afterwards we were discussing about the Peninsular Plateau. In this we discussed about the Deccan Plateau, Malwa Plateau and the Central Highland, and also we discussed about the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats and the differences between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Keep reading the textbook and listening the video until we meet with next part. Thank you and have a short break, and bye bye.